Dewo. Good morning. Eziokwe Meriwo. I love that song. It just has a way of just letting you know that you are blessed. And that's the topic of today, being blessed. Eziokwe Merigo. The truth of the matter is we are here. We are rejuvenated spiritually as a people. We're waking up. Ikele. Let's give thanks to the Almighty for this wonderful opportunity to inhale and exhale. Welcome to Chisholm Live. I'm Okedibia Dr. Wonyo Hosimiri, and I am your host for today. Well, no, I'm your host for Chisholm Live. And this is an organization, that's a program that allows us to have political discussions and social and spiritual discussions. Our focus today is spiritual. And before we go any further, I would just like to bring in my co-host, UD Ibiochwaja UD Onyoha. UD Mare.
No, Kyle, that song, it reminds me of Noah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
remember every time Noah comes to the United States, I will tell her, I said, Noah, but she has a way of singing it. And she
Yes.
takes me to this spiritual realm that I
Yes.
just don't get out of for at least 24 hours. And to be honest with you, I'm man enough to admit it. When she starts singing it, I start to cry. And
Yes.
when I heard the song now, I started, getting real emotional and thinking of mom that
Yeah.
passed away. The
Yeah.
great Noha one of Nkoro. May
Yeah.
her soul rest in perfect
Rest
peace.
in peace.
But I am grateful, as
Yes.
that's the theme of the show today.
Yeah.
That I was fortunate
Gratitude.
enough to be
Yes.
reared by
Yes.
a woman like our mother,
Yeah.
Noah.
Yeah.
The one of
Yeah.
Nkoro. So,
Yeah.
ChinEke.
That's right. Gratitude. Gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
And before we even go into discussion, I'm just gonna remind you guys that by supporting us, we can continue to do this. You're letting us know that you want us to continue. So just go to Chiism Live on YouTube and subscribe. It's not that difficult. If you subscribed already, then get a friend or two to go there and subscribe as well.
And for those that already
Subscribe.
subscribed, we're very thankful because I noticed that the subscription had gone up a little bit. So we're very thankful for that. Again,
Yes,
being grateful. Little
that's
drop
right.
of water makes a mighty ocean. So we're
That's
very
right.
grateful for your patronage.
Yes, please, please. Thank you. But continue, continue. The way you support anything is not just to do a little bit and walk away. It's to continue to encourage others to support what it is that you do, and even invite them to come and watch the show. Who knows? After they watch the show, they may decide that they want to subscribe. Then the other thing is you join this conversation on Chiism Live. We're on Facebook, and some of you are already on. Thank you very much for joining us. And then we have another website, chism.org, that you can visit. And when you go to chism.org, we have you can read our informative tracks and on Global Faith Ministries, because whatever we post in Global Faith Ministries is streamed on chism.org. By the end of the day, I'm going to put that website up so you know. And so join us there, have conversations, and again, invite your friends. Let me see who's here. Let me welcome those who have joined us. Ukunna Charles, welcome in Dewo. I'm glad you love the music. He says, Abhoma. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's a beautiful song. And that song is so old. The amount of fact, it was sung when the Godian religion started. Is that UD? And
Yeah, before the Godian religion, and then it became really prominent when Nigeria got its independence from Britain,
yes,
and
yes,
people hit the street in jubilation,
yeah.
and the song just kind of permeated the whole place and took off. So
That's right. It just took
yeah,
off. So now let's see. Matthew Lewis also hit the like button. That's what he's saying. You go there and you go to chism.org and you hit the like button. It's helpful. Or you could do that on Facebook page too. Like the show. Um, and according to Matt, it helps with YouTube algorithm when you like when you you subscribe. So we ask you guys to do that. Subscribe and hit like. And let's see who are Nosferatu Day. Well, thank you for joining us. We also have K.O. Miri. Thank you for joining. And Mohammed Arike Uyo. I'm sorry if I didn't get your name quite well, but I'm learning all these words, and so on and so forth. We'll thank everybody later on. But thank you those who have joined us this morning. I'm very excited about the show that we have today. And just so you know, for those who are not very aware, this is a spiritual day for us. It's the month of Agunsi. We're in the month of Agunsi. And it is all July the 28th through August the 26th. And the color today is indigo. I was looking through my wardrobe to find the color indigo, and I couldn't. I said, okay, I'll just wear something neutral. So I'm just wearing white today. But actually, the color I'm supposed to wear today is indigo. But that's okay. Next time,
there's a little bit of indigo in the background there.
Yeah, a little bit of it. Yes. Yeah. As you can see, I just tried to. How can I fit something that shows indigo today?
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, indigo is the color of the rainbow. Okay, signifies positivity and cheerfulness, and this is a good day to be cheerful. And the virtues that we are all supposed to exemplify today is, excuse me, is patience and love. Patience and love. Now, people think that if you love, then you have to love everything and everyone. Not really. Remember, love it can also mean leaving things alone. Now, if you have nothing positive to say, don't say it. Just move away. You know what I'm saying? Love doesn't mean that, whoever comes your way, you're just supposed to, love them. It doesn't always work that way. Okay. But it also is that those that need your love, that you should love them. Those that you need to leave alone, just leave them alone. You don't have to tear them down. Just move on. Let them stay, whatever. And Nosferatu says indigo is one of my, well, good. I'm glad it's one of your favorite colors. It's a beautiful color. So that is what this day is. Be patient, be loving, and whatever it is you put your heart to do, go for it. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't let anybody talk you out of anything you want to do today. Just go ahead and do it. Either they accept it or they don't accept it. As long as you accept it, you're doing something positive, go right ahead and do it. I just want to have share a little public announcement with you today. This is very important. Many people have forgotten that we are still in a pandemic, and a lot of people have thrown away their masks because at some point the rate of the pandemic had gone down a little bit. Okay, and so some people refuse to take the vaccination, wear masks indoors or public places. There is a African proverb that says, one hand washes the other. We are responsible for each other. We are responsible. It's not a matter of my rights and what is not my right. Your right ends where my right begins. You cannot, do anything that may jeopardize the welfare of your neighbors, of your children, of family, of friends. If the CDC says to do certain things to protect not just yourself, but protect others as well, please do it. Now, there are parts of the world, when people refuse to take the vaccinations, there are parts of the world begging for vaccinations, and we got the opportunity to have vaccinations, and we throw it away. We don't want it. Okay, you've got your reasons, I'm sure, whatever, but COVID is surging. COVID does not care about your rights. It's surging. It doesn't know if you're black, white, purple, or green. COVID is COVID. It's going to do what COVID does. Gratitude is having the opportunity, being aware that you have the opportunity to do something to help protect yourself and protect other people. This is not the time to flaunt your rights against the will of everybody else. Now, I just want to talk to you about, this is a public announcement. We got to talk about this because this Delta variant, is behaving differently from the regular COVID-19. The evidence shows that even vaccinated people can spread the virus. So just because you're vaccinated doesn't mean you walk around without a mask. You still have to wear a mask. Now, there are so many different masks out there, and I just wanted to share. You can buy the fancy ones, and there are lots and lots of different masks that you can use. It's important that you wear your mask, because the tragedy is that the virus is spreading and is mutating. And so even the vaccines we have now may not even protect us if we continue to allow it to mutate. Please do the right thing. In the name of ChinEke, do the right thing for the world. This is our survival here. Now, for those who don't understand what viruses can do, you better read your history and find out how different species died because of viruses. Different species died because of some things that their bodies just could not control. And we have an opportunity to get rid of the COVID-19, and we don't want to do it. Now, if you have masks, you see this mask, it's cheap. Now, you can buy the fancy ones, but if you don't have the fancy ones, this is simple. This is a simple mask, and as a matter of fact, when you're in public, put it on. When you're with other people indoors, put it on. When you're at home, take it off. I mean, it's not gonna hurt you. I mean, it's ingratitude. It's not showing gratitude that you are alive when you don't want anyone else to live. You must show gratitude by doing what will help other people live. There are many people who died. Billions have died recently, all over the world, because of COVID. Do you think they wouldn't like to switch places with you and be alive like you are? So let's do the right thing. Let's put aside all this conspiracy theories. Here, whether it's true or not, my spirituality tells me I'm responsible for the well-being of my neighbor. And because of it, I will wear this, even if it makes me uncomfortable. It's not doing anything to my rights. It's not undermining anything. Now, let me tell you why this one is good. If you light a candle, and I don't have a candle, but you can try this yourself. If you light a candle in front of this and you try to blow it, if you blow off that candle, then this is not the mask for you. So whatever mask you're using, put a candle in front of it. As just one way of testing it is to blow. If the air can go through your mask and blow out that candle, it's not going to protect you. But this one is the one that they use in the hospitals. Is the one that if you don't have any, just pick up a bunch of these. They're cheap, and have it around. And remember, it is important because the Delta variant is creating even more variants, or whatever you call it. Okay. And those we may not control with the vaccines. I'm not here to debate with you or anyone if vaccine is true or not, or they're going to take your soul if they put the vaccine in you, and or they're going to change your DNA. All that nonsense. That is not what this is about. Excuse me, please. If you believe in all that, that's on you. But what we're talking about is gratitude. We're alive. We're breathing. Let's give everybody else a chance. And most importantly, these young kids, there are many babies who cannot take vaccines. There are many babies that cannot be protected. There are many babies who are dying now. Schools are shutting down again because we are ungrateful. Yes, I said it. You're ungrateful when you can't take a moment, just one moment, to cover your nose and your mouth to protect someone else. That is that is selfishness. That's being selfish. Now, you can get mad all you want. I said it. It is time for us to put aside all these personal things and just do the right thing. Cover your mouth. Cover your nose. Eventually, ladies and gentlemen, whether you believe it or not, according to the scientists, eventually we are not going to be able to contain the virus, and vaccines may not work. As the variants continue to grow, we may not be able to control it. So it's important for us to put aside that is a public information that I had to share with you. Okay, let me share. Let me see what other people are saying about this, and then we can continue with our show. Nosferatu says the lamb. Well, let me see. I think I lost you there. Okay, this is what she said. Now the lambda variant has been found in Los Angeles. Oh yes, there are more. They're all coming. They're all coming. We're sitting
See,
around thinking we got rights.
no, what people don't understand is, like you mentioned earlier in your commentary, is to be a student of history and just try to read a little bit, right? This is not the first time that the world has been hit with a pandemic,
Yes.
right? The Black Plague almost wiped out. I mean, like a third of the population of Europe was wiped out. I mean, it killed millions and millions and millions of people. In America, the smallpox wiped out a whole lot of the native population. In South America, the same thing. Populations have been wiped out in the world without even having to wield a sword. This is nothing new, whether it's man made or whether it is just a virus that was transported from one part of the continent to another part of the continent because of the fact that human beings, are involved in voyages. They travel to other places for trade or whatever, and then they bring in pestilence, when they come back to their own people, so on and so forth. So this is nothing new. In America, you got the Spanish flu, you got the smallpox, you got all kinds of stuff that have happened. This is just the same thing. It is a cycle. The only difference between then and now is that we have the ability to try to at least contain these viruses so that they don't have the level of devastation that it had, with the past generations before science got to, or medical science got to the level that it is not, that it has gotten to now, giving us the ability to try to at least contain it or minimize the effect of these viruses on the population, you know. But even now, the speed of infection is even quicker now because now you could
Yes.
fly, right? You could drive, you could sail, you could catch it on a cruise ship, you could do all that. All the viruses usually is contained within a specific population, right? Because they didn't really have the ability to travel that far. But now, if you have a pandemic going on in America, before you know it, it's in Africa, just through flight.
Yes.
So
Everywhere.
so we have to kind of like understand that. I don't really know what happened to our common sense, but except to say that common sense is really not that common. And depending on the kind of educational environment that you grew up in, it might limit your understanding of exactly how these things work and
Yes.
why your ignorance or lack of participation in trying to help curtail the spread of this disease is imperative. And I
Yes.
just think that's really what's going on here, either through education, and not just in the United States, because in Africa they got the same issue too. So let's not act like it's only here in the United States where
No,
this
it's not.
ignorance and lack of caring for our fellow human beings, is being experienced. America is not the only place. It's happening in Africa. It's happening in Europe.
Everywhere.
It's happening everywhere. You just have people that somehow just can't get with the idea that this is not about your personal preference or your rights. It's about in Igbo spiritual, one of our tenets is Madubuchi Bear, right? You are
Yes.
like God to your fellow human beings. So you must look at yourself as the next great hope for your neighbor,
That's right.
right? It's like somebody breaks into your neighbor's house and they're about to murder that person, and you happen to be around with a gun. You could do something about it. Do something. Save somebody else's life. This is your spiritual calling to care for your neighbor. It's not about your personal right, because if everybody had the same
No.
attitude as you have, then we're all going to be infected. Children are going to suffer.
That's right.
The next generation
That's
may
right.
end up not existing at all. This is not just about our temporary comfort, but it's about the future of our communities. We have to really care about the future. If you have 100 million people that can live for the next 10 years, but you end up having only 500 of them make it, then what good is your personal rights here?
That's it. That's it.
It's crazy to me. I really don't understand it. But hey, keep hope alive, Jesse Jackson.
Well, Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
So it's important. ladies and gentlemen, that I had to do that because I think I think for those who are who are uh, who are fighting against this, some of them are using religion. They even use religion. You
That's
know,
it.
I don't
Just forget
understand
it.
why anybody thinks that the Creator wants us to breathe. Okay, so you breathe. You don't need the mask, but what are you breathing in? You're fighting to breathe what? If there is viruses that can take your life, why are you fighting to keep them away? It's my right to die. Okay, maybe you want to do anyway. That's all I'm going to say about that. Please, this is the simplest one you can get. As much as possible. There's nothing that says that you cannot take it off. Take it off when you're by yourself, but when you're with others, until further notice,
Put it
we
on.
must put it on. Do the right thing, people. Do the right thing. Okay. The topic today is what a blessing it is to be alive. You know, uh, often many of us, we have encounters, we have struggles, and what that does for us is it annihilates our sense of well, it annihilates our ability to pause and say, hey, you know what? In spite of all of that, I am grateful. Thank you, ChinEke, for this miracle called
Life.
life, breathing, inhaling and exhale. That's a blessing. That's where you start. See what gratitude helps us do. What it helps us do is to see the world from a whole different, a much bigger than ourselves. It's not, it's not just about us. In gratitude, we can help each other grow, personally or in business or whatever it is, communication we have with other people. If we're grateful, we help those even less fortunate than ourselves, appreciating how much we have. I had a situation 2 3 days ago, and I shared it with some of my family members. I am not in the position that anybody needs to see me at a grocery store, and as a matter of fact, when I go to the grocery store, I'm always well dressed. You can never look at me and say, oh, this woman needs help, let's give her groceries. I was buying my own groceries, minding my business, and this lady tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around, I said hello, and she says, ma'am, uh God just told me to bless you today. Well, this is the kind of thing you see in movies, or you see in Facebook, TikTok, or whatever. You never think that
Yeah.
will happen to you. So I was surprised when she told me that. Well, I know that there are other people out here who need that kind of help more than I do, certainly. So I said to her, well, thank you so very much. No, initially I thought she was just saying, I just want to pray for you, I want to bless you. So I said, oh, thank you. But she says, ma'am, you don't understand. I want to pay for your groceries. So I said to her, my groceries, well, thank you. I appreciate that. But I started walking away because I was like, did I tell you I needed you to pay for my groceries? She followed me. She followed me to the counter. She said, go on, I'll pay for it. Well, I thought, what is she joking or something? So I went about my business. When I got to the counter and pulled out my card to pay for my groceries, she says to the clerk, don't accept her card. I'll pay for her. Today, God said for me to bless her. So I'm telling her, well, thank you so much, but you don't have to do this. She says, maybe not. I know I can look at you. I know you don't need it, but I am grateful. I just want to give back. I just want to give to you because that's what God wants me to do. So instead of fighting her, of course, I said, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. The weird thing about it, now you guys may think I'm kidding you here. The weird thing about it is when I got outside, I actually wanted to stop and thank her. Because she was right behind me. So when she approached, when I left out of the store, I stopped in front of the store, hoping that she'll come and I'll thank her for her generosity. So I waited and waited and waited. I'm telling you, nobody
Mm.
came. I didn't
Yeah.
see her. I was waiting to see her because she was right behind me. She should have, gone past me, but I didn't see her. So I waited and waited. I said, this is really odd. So I went to the counter and I asked the lady, I said, the lady who paid for my groceries, where did you see where she went? She said, oh, she walked outside. I said, well, she couldn't have walked outside. I was out there waiting for her. She says, well, she walked outside. I was so curious. I looked, searched the parking lot to find this woman, and I couldn't. There's a woman who, for whatever reason, maybe she saw me waiting for her. She didn't want me to thank her. She was just grateful. And she did what
Mhm.
she thought she had to do to be, to express gratitude. So either she avoided me or I don't know what happened, but I never saw her again. You know, but gratitude allows us to do for others, whether they need it or not. It's just in you to do. And at that moment, it was for, it was in her to do. Now we disregard the fact that our minds is connected to ChinEke. So sometimes, expressing our gratitude to ChinEke, lets the divine mind know that, okay, what's working in our lives, we're appreciative of it, and more can be given to us. But if we have a clenched fist, if we're all angry all the time, and we're screaming, this is our right, that is not our right, like this mask thing, we're not we're not grateful people. When you find people like that, they're not grateful people. What are your thoughts on that, if I continue?
I mean, that the story that you just told is pretty fascinating, and it just kind of goes to show you that sometimes you have, there are people out there that are actually very spiritual, and
Yes.
sometimes they feel it is their duty to bless somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a beautiful thing. Uh, every day above ground is a good day, right?
Mm-hmm.
From my own personal experience, I'm grateful for life. When we pray in Igbo cosmogony, at least when we pray, we usually
Mm-hmm.
ask for four things because we believe that those four things
Mm-hmm.
covers everything that you can ever pray for. Now you might get specific with your prayers, like maybe I want a pink lipstick, and it's not going to change anything in your life, but it makes you feel good. So you pray, God, I've been looking for a pink lipstick, so I'm going out here to Sears, and hopefully I'll find one. And you find one, you go, oh, thank God, a pink lipstick. But
Yeah.
really, what changes does it do or make in your life? But
Yeah.
you could pray for silly things like that. But in African, cosmology, we pray for children, omomo.
Omomo.
We pray for arisike, good health.
Mm-hmm.
We pray for ogologondo, long life.
Mm-hmm.
Ifeanyi prosperity. You really don't look beyond that culturally. You just look for those four things. If you are blessed in these four areas, you are truly blessed. So
Yes.
for those of us, whether you're single or you're married or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
these things all apply. If you're married and you have a good job,
Mm-hmm.
and you have children, and you have the means to raise these kids without difficulty, then you have been blessed in those four areas. You
Mm-hmm.
don't necessarily have to have a Lamborghini, but a Honda will do because it
Yes.
gets you from point A to point B. Now, sometimes we're not grateful because we're not dealing with the basic expectations of ChinEke's blessing. You have to bring it down to the basic expectation, which is these four different areas.
Mm.
Omomo, arisike, ogologondo. If I zomo. To what extent you're blessed is a totally different story because those are excesses.
Mm.
You don't pray to Chineke for excesses. You pray for the basic things that
Mm-hmm.
makes life wholesome.
Yes.
Finally, I'm not bragging, but this is just how I roll, so to
Mm.
speak.
Mm.
If I'm driving and I come to a street corner, it's not like I go out of my way to go to the homeless shelters to do anything because sometimes you just don't have that time. And then when the weekend comes, if you have a full schedule, then next thing you're thinking about is now I got to spend time with family, right? Because no matter how successful or how whatever it is you're doing, if you don't have the ability to spend time with your children, with your wife, with your loved ones, then you're not really living a wholesome life. You're not really enjoying God's blessings. You pray for stuff, you get it.
You say.
Yeah, you pray for something, you get those things, then you
Mm.
have to have time to enjoy it. I want to
Mm.
enjoy my children, right?
Mm.
I want to
Yeah.
enjoy my family. I want to do all that. But I'm also reminded of just how blessed I am when I'm
Yes.
driving and I get to a street corner and I see somebody panhandling.
Yes.
Sometimes I see them with their children asking
Yes.
for a dollar or two.
Mm.
I have never come across such people unless the traffic lights changed.
Mm.
I never ask why they're in the street corner.
Mm.
I don't care if they're on drugs or whatever. All I know is that I'm not the one standing by the
There.
street
He
corner
said, he said,
panhandling. So
yes,
as long as I'm not the one, I automatically become very thankful to
yes.
the Almighty ChinEke that I'm not standing there. And
Mm.
I connect with the suffering of that person standing there. And I do the best I can to give them whatever it is that I have. If I don't have any change, there's nothing I can do. But if I have some money in my pocket, some cash money, you could bet your last dollar I'm going to bless that person.
That's
Just
right.
because that condition reminds me of just how blessed I am and that I shouldn't take anything for granted. Now, remember, the guy in the street corner panhandling, there's somebody in a worse position than they are.
And there, somebody who is
Always,
sick, somebody
always
who's sick.
remember that.
Yes.
Even sick with all the wealth and the mansions and the Rolls Royces, but they can't breathe. Either they're choking, maybe they got COVID or something, who knows? There is always somebody in a worse
Worse off
position
than you are.
than you are. So be grateful, be thankful, be spiritual. Madubuchi Beya, we are like God to our fellow human beings because all of God's blessings come through somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Anything beyond that is a miracle. And those don't
But
happen all the time.
you know, Divya, here is what people just fail to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that we are blessed beyond blessed with nature.
Yes.
That's all these blessings that we have. If you want to see how blessed you are, walk outside and take a moment and inhale and exhale and just absorb the energy from nature. That's the blessing. Be grateful for that. When somebody's 6 feet under and covered in dirt, they can't experience that anymore. It's over for them.
Yeah.
Unless they become an ancestor.
I really
Do
like
you
that.
see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's so important that in African spirituality, we make such a big deal of religion. Religion is man-made. It's man-made.
Yeah.
True religion is non-existent. Religion is man-made. What is true is spirituality.
Yeah.
That is what connects you directly to the Most High and connects you to nature, which is that blessing you're talking about. That's ChinEke's blessing to you is everything: the air, the trees, oxygen, the earth, everything that nature is what has been given to us. But we're looking elsewhere. And because we don't appreciate the blessings and we abuse it, we're looking for man-made blessings. First of all, we got to bend down. We got to call upon the man in the sky or whatever it is. Hey, let me say this. I am not here to criticize you for whatever your spiritual, for the most part, what your parents are is what you turn out to be. But as you grow up, now that you're a grown person listening to this, I'm just letting you know. Let's keep it real. Nature is the blessing. If you take care of nature, we continue the blessing. When we abuse nature, nature is not just you go outside and experience it. Take care of it. Don't abuse it. Look at the fires. Look at the floods. We're abusing nature, and nature is screaming at us. See, one of the big reasons that we're not grateful is because we live in a consumerist society. Constantly bombards us with a message that we need this thing or we need that thing or we need this. And then you find people, for us to be happy, we got to have all these things. And then you know what? Did your charger. What I find so interesting when they see an African family, there was an African family that has this hut. They have a hut, and the little boy asked you to come into his home, and his home has nothing inside of it. It has his mother. The only thing it has is mother and this persistent goat trying to eat her yams, and she keeps chasing it away. right? But they don't have walls. They just have sticks and stuff that they put together. It looks quite cute, but there's air coming in. There's air coming in. And you know what people were writing and typing? Oh, those poor family. Oh, how horrible. What? They didn't invite you to tell them how horrible their lives are. They don't know about television. They don't need it. They talk to each other. They entertain each other. They don't need lights. Everything is open and they have. I'm not saying we should all revert to that. I'm just saying for you to see people in nature, embracing and enjoying nature, and you feel sorry for them. But your idea of being blessed is to go to a church and ask for, try to draw ChinEke into the church to meet you when ChinEke is out there outside. But you see people who live with nature and you think, oh, you poor souls. What you feeling sorry for them for? They're blessed. They embrace nature. They're kind to nature. They have spring water to drink. We feel so, we get so upset the water, the tap water, we crying tap water, everything that is man-made, that's what we crave. And when we don't have it, we look at those who have it as so unfortunate. Those poor souls, they are with nature. They have natural light. Natural light. They're eating food that they grew themselves. And this photographer, who did the videotaping, he snapped back at the people. I said, "What are you feeling sorry for them? They're nature. Since he got there, he's having such a wonderful time in nature." So anyway, I just want to say this, UD, and I'll let you come in. Life is what we should be grateful for. Life. If you woke up this morning breathing with a heartbeat, that's where your gratitude should be.
In good health.
You're in good health. You get to enjoy today, and hopefully you get to enjoy tomorrow. You're with your family. Maybe you have. Yesterday, my husband cooked the big. Oh my! I will ask you. That was so good.
You need to just quit with that cooking.
I need to quit.
I'm hungry. Okay? I haven't eaten anything. Now you're just gonna ruin my morning with all that stuff.
So if you're with your family and friends, you enjoy good food, and you enjoy life's luxuries, be grateful.
Yeah.
Be grateful.
Absolutely.
High health. Be grateful for your health, UD. You know, it is the foundation of who you are. You don't necessarily need to be physically and mentally well to feel healthy. You don't have to have muscles to feel healthy.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I'm gonna make a joke, and then I'll kind of get to my point. I was listening to the Oracle of Omaha.
Yes.
You know who that is, right? The investor, Buffett.
Yes.
And they were asking him, he's been married to his wife for 50-something, 60 years or whatever they've been married. So they asked him, what is your secret? Is it your success and all that? What is your secret to long, marriage?
Yes.
He says, well, it's not the big house and all that stuff. He said, the secret to a long marriage, if you're married, is expectations. Make sure you set the expectation very low. So she doesn't feel like she's missing anything. He said, when you go into a marriage, setting high expectations that you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to provide this, you're going to provide that. He said, that's recipe for disaster, because when you don't do it, she's going to remind you. You said. He said, so go in with low expectation. Now, if you happen to build something out of that, make sure you go in with the same expectation, same level of focus as your wife, so that you could build something. Don't go in there, I got this, I'm going to do this and do that. And then when it doesn't happen, now you got conflict in your home, because she's going to remind you, you said, brother.
Yeah.
I could have married John. Now I ended up with you.
I'll try. I want to read something that Kalfani Anu said. Man created God in his image and likeness for the forgiveness of sins and evils that he will commit. That is to the point. Look, I don't say anything else. Okay, that's just the point. When I say that it's man-made, that's what we're talking about. Spirituality is natural. It's
Yeah,
natural from
here's
the
the thing.
beginning.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know, sometimes people don't understand spirituality, and we get to mix it up with religion and all that. They don't
Mm,
understand religion. Religion, the etymology, right? That's the core definition of religion. Religion is not Christianity. It is not Islam. It's not Hinduism. It's not Shiism. It's not none of that. These are philosophies designed to guide your path for you to live a certain way, right?
mm,
To love one another, live a certain way, and perhaps be as godly as we possibly can, right?
mhm,
As we go through life, loving and caring for one another. Religion, in its etymology, simply means a duty that a person feels compelled to perform in reverence to something greater than themselves. And that something is the Almighty ChinEke. The air you breathe, you know you're not responsible for creating it.
But
The
okay, okay.
vegetation,
Let go back. Go back. Let's talk
yeah.
about that.
Mm.
If you're saying religion is something that you
It's just a
it,
realization or a feeling that you have
is
to
that
give
religion or
thanks.
is that spirituality?
Look, spirituality is how you comport your life, how you relate to your environment, to your fellow human beings, right? Spirituality, the spirit of ChinEke, of forgiveness, of love, of giving thanks, of appreciation, that is all spirituality. It allows you to relate to your fellow human being and live in peace and appreciate the diversity, because diversity is divine. Nothing is uniform. Even human beings are not uniform. Chinese, Japanese, Africans, Europeans, cats, lions, a tiger, leopard. There's nothing that breathes. There's nothing that uses air in this world that is uniform.
Mm,
Spirituality is allowing you to understand that that diversity is divine and you must protect it. And the way to protect it is the way you relate to it. You know, Jeff
mhm,
Bezos and the guy, what's that? Virgin Airlines, the CEO of Virgin
mm,
Airlines.
I don't know his name.
Yeah, they went into space,
Hmm. Oh yeah.
and what they were saying was that when they got to space,
Mm,
they looked at this cocoon called Earth,
hmm.
and they realized that this is it. If you destroy that, if you
Hmm.
don't take care of that environment, if we
Yes.
don't take care of the animals, if we don't take care of one another, there's nowhere else to go. This is it. And you can't really, Richard Branson, that's his name. Thank you, Nos. Richard Branson. This is it. There is no other outlet for humanity. Now, we could
Hmm.
talk about going to Mars and all. Mars has no environment. So you're just
Hmm.
going to go in there, live in a cocoon. There are no trees for you. There are no rivers. You can't go swimming over there. You can't go mountain climbing. You can't do anything. So when people sit around and say, oh, the rich people are trying to go into space so they could go and colonize it and leave this world. No, they're not. They're absolutely not. There's nothing for you when you move to Mars to live there, or if you're living in the space station. Your environment, you're floating around, there's nothing there. There are no ants, there are no mosquitoes to get you all upset, no flies, no nothing. It is just blank space. That
Mm,
is not living. The
mm,
earth, this is it. Religion is a realization or a feeling that you have to give thanks to the Almighty Creator for the life sustaining forces. That is the etymology of religion. Now, religious philosophies are derived from that realization, and it is heavily influenced by culture, by your environment. The religion that comes out of South America, based on its environment and their experiences, the jungle and all that, is different from the religion that comes out of Nepal, based on that environment, or the religion that comes out of the North Pole, based on that environment. The mistake that we make, religiously speaking, claiming exclusive truth, is that the Eskimo goes to the Amazon jungle where the Aztec resides and tells
mm,
the Aztec that he should see God based on the experiences of the guy in the North Pole. If you ask the person in South America about the evidence of the Almighty Creator, he's going to tell you the anaconda, the jungle, the crocodilia, right? The piranhas, all those things in their environment that they see that they were not responsible for. That is the evidence that there's something greater than themselves. And they developed that supplication method based on their environment. If you ask the Eskimo the same question, his evidence of ChinEke, because he has never been out of that environment, is the ice. It's the walrus that they depend on, the fat from the walrus or the whale that they use to cook, the fish, the tuna, whatever it is in that environment, the polar bear. That is evidence. These are things in that environment that they were not responsible for, that they did not create. So for them, those things are the evidence of God, because those things are part of their life-sustaining forces. But what has happened in the world with religion, that we now manufacture these philosophies that not only serve us in our environment, but for some reason we now decided, because of power, because of greed, that we are going to invade other communities based on the resources that we don't have, gold, whatever. We go in there and we tell them that they must leave everything in that environment. They must see their environment the way the invader sees it. And so you have these conflicts, you have these murders, hating, and all that. And it's not really because you're racist, it's because you want to influence that environment and control it for its resources. And if you're not strong enough militarily first to protect yourself and defend your community, you're in trouble. And once they invade you physically, the next thing they want to do is work on your mind. Because working on your mind is a way of ensuring that the next generation of the people who are invaded will do the bidding of the invader. So they force their religion on your great-grandparents or great-great-great-grandparents that they colonized. They forced it. They changed them from Kunta Kinte to Toby. Then your great-great-grandparents passes this same knowledge under duress to your great-grandparents. Then your great-grandparents pass that same knowledge to the grandparents. Grandparents passes it to the parents, and the parents passes it to you. Now you're going to pass it to your children. So through the generations, you've lost a little bit of your primordial self. And in the end, I'm sorry to say it, we all start behaving like zombies. They tell you what to do, what to say, what to think. You become somebody else. You get re-socialized into something that you don't even recognize. And that's why people of African ancestry globally are confused. We have the same issue. We don't understand that culture is the backbone of the people. And your best defense against imperialism is maintaining your culture. Once you lose it, you're done. You're finished. It's almost impossible for you to come back to prominence again. Next thing, you start to import things that you already have. For example, in Africa, you start to import things that you yourself have as a part of your natural resource. You start to believe that things that are outside of your own environment is better than what you have.
So then, fantastic. I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. So then, let us as far as when we say Chiism, Gaudian religion, one of the things that's key to us is that we encourage people to hold on to what they have.
Yeah.
Be proud, be grateful. Don't demean, because it's a heritage. It's part of your heritage. Absolutely. You know, I have no problems with Christians. I have no problems with Muslims. I have no problems with whomsoever. Here, the problem comes when you say that your way, okay, supersedes mine, and I have to abandon who I am, and I can only see God through your eyes. I can see God through your holy book. I can only see God through your culture. Mine is not, is useless. The question is, why did God create the diversity?
Thank you.
Why did ChinEke make us all different? There was a reason. That's why, like you've used this before, and that is that you have when you talk about a bouquet of flowers, what makes the bouquet beautiful is all the diverse flowers in it.
Yep.
If not, it will just be one thing.
Yeah.
But people don't buy just roses. People may buy roses today, tomorrow they may want to buy something else, etc., etc., because all that diversity is beautiful. What humanity has failed to see is that the way to appreciate ChinEke is to appreciate all creations. And all creations come with their own different sets of value systems, which
Absolutely.
helps them survive.
Yep.
And it's when you tell them not to be grateful for who they are, right? You undermine their very existence, because they start pulling away from what they are, start seeking who you are, and they will never find who you are, because it was not for them. So if you're going to be a Christian and you want to promote Christianity, let your Christianity tell people, believe in who you are. If you believe in God and you believe in going to God the way you understand best, that's cool with me. If you're Muslim, say the same thing. When you stop saying to people to abandon who they are,
yep,
that's when you can actually call yourself a spiritual organization. Otherwise, you are promoting religious precepts that undermine other people's well-being. And you don't get mad when people say they don't believe in what you believe. You don't curse people and tell people they're going to hell.
No, you don't.
You don't curse people and tell them that that Allah is going to punish them. You cannot play God at the same time be human.
And you don't have any evidence of God's punishment either.
You don't.
Does.
You don't. It's all boggled in your book, So what we're saying is gratitude is being grateful for who you are. If you're dark, be proud of that. There was a reason why you're that.
Yep.
If you're light, be grateful for that. If you're somewhere in between, be grateful for who you are, for what ChinEke has seen fit to make you. If ChinEke made me an Igbo woman, I'm grateful for that. Made you Hausa, be grateful for that. Yoruba, be grateful. Ghanaian, a white, purple, green, or otherwise, whatever reason.
Diversity is divine.
Diversity is divine. We in Chiism, we're saying to people that we are happy with who we are. We want you to be happy with who you are as well. Be who you are.
Yes.
We will argue with you when you start telling us, oh, our way is bad. No, I disagree, because there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong. There's an African song. Where onyinye gị bịa na onye nwe anyị nyere gị ya n'efu. Were onyinye gị bịa na onye nwe anyị nyere gị ya n'efu. Were onyinye gị bịa na onye nwe anyị nyere gị ya n'efu. Na ọ dịghị gị kwụrụ ya, ọ dịghị gị kwụrụ ya. Give of yourself.
Yes.
Give what you have, because the Creator gave it to you at no cost to you. It's all free. I don't have to love you only because you agree with me. I don't. You're unique. I'm unique. This is the way it is. True spirituality is. Let me read what my friend here has said. In my opinion, the true spirituality of religions are good, but religion encompasses that good spirituality along with the bad aspects of religion. Spirituality, control equals religion. So, well, that's an opinion there, and I'm glad you're sharing your opinion, because it tells me that somehow what we're talking about is hitting home. Okay, know what really? I mean, there are religions that promote positivity. If you are promoting positivity and you are encouraging people to be all that they are, you're encouraging people to love nature, to preserve other human beings, to make sure that they understand that they are just but a speck in this whole scheme of things called life. You are the whole universe. You're just a tiny little speck. So there is no way that you're better than anyone else. So let us embrace our diversity. Let us embrace the goodness, the nature that has been given to us. Let us praise and give thanks and be grateful. That's what gratitude is. Be grateful for where you are. Now, should you get something more, Great. But where you are is your starting point. Be grateful for that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I
And
just
we have
wanted
about 2 more minutes, and we're
yeah. So I just wanted to say something in closing.
yeah.
When you talk about gratitude, I want our audience to understand one thing. There has never been there has never been anybody in this world through history, through time,
Hmm.
that has never that has never had the feeling of giving up.
Yeah.
But be grateful for the opportunity to change your life and make things better.
Hmm.
Barack Obama, I'm sure, at some point in his life had felt like giving up. If you're a Christian, even Jesus at some point felt like giving up. Muhammad, Buddha, Oprah Winfrey, name all your heroes. There has never been a point of time, even you, okay, Charger, we have at some point in our lives felt like giving up. But you have to have hope.
Yes.
You have to have faith.
Hmm.
You have to be you have to have gratitude for the opportunity to change
Hmm.
your lot. Every day above ground is a
A
good
good
day.
day.
Breathing, walking, being in good health. Thank God for those things that are working in your life. Yes, things look so bad right now. We have all felt it. You are not feeling anything that nobody else has ever felt before. Every
Yes.
great man and woman has felt at some point in their life through their struggles
Mm.
till they finally made it. At some
Yes.
point, Martin Luther King at some point felt like giving up.
That's right.
Malcolm X felt like giving up at some point. Harriet Tubman felt like giving up at some point. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe felt like giving up. Kwame Nkrumah, Marcus Garvey, even Nelson Mandela felt like giving up at some point. Don't give up. Be appreciative. Have gratitude
Hmm.
for your health, that you're still alive, that
Yes.
you have
Inhaling like a city.
that you have the opportunity to change your destiny, to
Yeah.
control it.
Yeah.
Thank ChinEke
Thank you.
for those
Thank you.
things that are right in your life. And as
Mm.
long as you understand and appreciate those things, it's going to give you the will to keep pushing
And
till
so it
you get to the promised land. That's all I
and,
got to say.
and so it is. Thank you so much for that beautiful riveting closing. And I'm just going to share this with my brothers and sisters who joined us on this show. I want to end it by reminding you that health is something to be grateful for. If you have a job, many people don't have a job. Just remember what a job does for you. It helps you pay your bills, and it keeps you from standing in the unemployment line. So, if you got that, it's something to be grateful. Allows you to eat every day. When people are standing in line and you're not standing in line. So be grateful for that. And certainly be grateful for your family. If you have family, that you're lucky enough love you like they are your friends. Be grateful. There are people who can confide in you. That's what family is. You're able to have you can confide in, and so if you have that kind of family, people who will stand with you thick and through thick and thin, be sure to be grateful for that. Please be grateful for friends. Friends are through, quite frankly, if you have good friends, they will stand with you during your dark times. So, don't push away a friend who always calls you and appreciates you and want your attention. They want to be connected to you. Be grateful for them, because there are many people who have no friends. So express your gratitude every chance you get to your friends. You can't pick your family, but you certainly can pick your friends. And if you pick good friends, stay connected with them. Be kind to them. And sometimes we have an attitude that, oh, this person is a pest because they're always calling you. They're calling you because they love you. They're calling you because they want to be connected with you. That's a good friend. Your best friend is not the one that texts you all the time, that doesn't take the time to call you on the phone. That's not your best friend. The one that you text with all the time is not your best friend. The one that will pick up the phone. Let me tell you right now, in the uh, era of technology, those who want to hear your voice are truly your best friends. Sometimes people hide behind the text because they don't want to talk to you. Maybe they don't like how you sound or whatever. There's a reason why they're not interested in talking with you. So if you have those friends that will call you, then certainly. And I just want to end it with nature. Nature, nature, nature. That is what we need to be grateful for. Let us do whatever. If you don't belong to an organization that my daughter is for her birthday, she wanted us to support the ocean cleanup. Nature is this is how lucky we are when you're able to go to the park and be around those trees, and and you have the trails that you can walk on, and you see the animals, wild or docile, whatever. You can look at the mountains, and you can look at the hills and the oceans. That is the blessing that ChinEke has given us each and every day. Take the time and say thank you. The outdoors is such a powerful place to see the blessing of ChinEke. Take the time and step out and be grateful. Thank you, ChinEke, for all of this, the air, everything I breathe, the greenery, whatever. Take your shoes off in the morning. Go outside. Connect with Mother Earth. Let your feet touch the earth. There's nothing technical about worshiping ChinEke. It's just going outside and being one with nature. I want to thank all of you today, and I hope that whatever we shared with you today, you can take and add to your repertoire so that you will continue to be a blessing to other people, not just to yourself, but certainly a blessing to yourself, to others. Thank you very much, all of you. Ochoaja Yudi, thank you for joining me today. I think this was a wonderful show.
It
I
was
want to
beautiful.
thank Matt Lewis for
Beautiful.
joining us. I want to
Mhm.
thank Nos Faratu. I want to also thank Kalfani Kwame. Thank you for joining us. I want to thank Ikunna Charles. Thank you for being here today. I want to thank K.O. Midi. Thank you. And then Muhammad Tufid. Thank you for joining us, all of you. And I look forward to seeing you again next Sunday on Chism Live. And so it is. Yagazino.
Yeah, guys, yeah.
See?